Last lesson for this week. Your test is tomorrow. Is chapter 1 or lesson 1.6. So, lesson 1.6 is going to talk about exponents. What are exponents? Well, here's an exponent, or here's a power. This whole thing here is a power. That would be your base. Your exponent is that small little number there. Again, exponents tell us how many times to multiply the base by itself. So if you are going to work with an exponent, 5 to the third, and you're going to have to do this today on a couple of problems. 5 to the third means take 5 times 5 times 5. And you're actually going to have to type the parentheses and the 5s to do that. But again, that's 5 to the third because that means multiply 5 3 times. You would then do 5 times 5 is 25 times 5, and 25 times 5, if you don't remember, that's 25. Carry the 2, 10 plus 2, 125. Or just use your calculator to figure out it's 125. That works for me also. How do exponents change what we've already learned for the 4 fundamental operations? They are higher than multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction. So when you looked at PEMDAS, we learned on Tuesday that that's our ground level. We learned yesterday that that is our second level. But this is higher than all that, which means I don't multiply, divide, add, or subtract until all of my exponents are gone. And so that's what you need to know. Alright, so don't do any of this stuff until you've taken care of all your exponents. If there's any exponents in the problem, do not do anything else. Remember that typically there's no calculators allowed. I know it says that, but you can use your calculator. But typically if you're doing order of operations, they don't allow calculators. So again, work out your exponents in a scratch area, and the best way to do that is to expand it and then simplify it. Do not do any operations until all the exponents are simplified. So looking at this, 3 plus 2 to the third divided by 4 times 2 minus 6. Again, student, teacher, teacher, student, does not matter. This is what you should see. And because you see that, that means that we can't do anything else until we deal with this part. And so on scratch paper, again, you can do it on your calculator if you want to do 2 to the third, but on scratch paper that means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2, or 8. And so I rewrite the 3 plus, that turns into 8 divided by 4 times 2 minus 6. Now all the exponents are gone, so my first teacher is here. My other teacher is here. First student, and final answer. Alright. Next question. What tells you that we can't do anything else is this little exponent up there. So we do this first. That would be 2 times 2, or 4. So 3 times 8 divided by, that turns into 4 divided by 2. First teacher in line is here, 24 divided by 4 divided by 2. Here, 24 divided by 4 would be 6 divided by 2, and 6 divided by 2 is a final answer of 3. Alright. Looking at this question, it should stand out to you. It's a small floating number. We've got to do this part first. And so we do 7 plus 3, parentheses, 4 to the second means 4, times 4, it means multiply it by itself twice. That is 16. So this would be 16 minus 6 divided by 2. Now we have all students and teachers. First teacher in line is 3 times 16, so I'm going to do long multiplication. 16 times 3 is, or 6 times 3 is 18. 3 plus 1 makes 4, so 7 plus 48 minus 6 divided by 2. Again, that is long multiplication. You do not have to do that yet. Just make sure you use the calculator. The other teacher in line is right here. 7 plus 48 minus 3. Now we have nothing but students. That becomes what? 55 minus 3, which is 52. And again, on your homework, you'll have to type all these things in, so be sure you practice that before your quiz pops up. Last example. First thing we've got to do is this part. because that little floating number throws us off. So 2 to the third means 2, 2, and 2. Maybe you memorize it. That's 4 times 2, which is 8. So 80 divided by 8, parentheses, 6 plus 2. Who's first now? The first teacher, and the first teacher is that division. A divided by 8 is 10, parentheses, 6 plus 2. First teacher here is 10 times 6. And then you deal with the last part, which is 62. Bottom line, be sure to slow down when you're evaluating exponents. Many students mistakenly multiply the base, and that causes them to miss points. Again, if you have any issues doing your homework, I do hope you're doing your homework now, because I noticed last week that a lot of you didn't do anything at all, which is a guaranteed repeat for this course. Please don't do that. I try to make it easy enough. I even do as much as I can to make sure that the material in the quiz or in the homework pretty much pops up on the quiz. So as long as you're doing your homework and getting practice, you at least have a shot on the quiz, because I use the same exact questions. But again, just make sure again that you do not do any other operations until the exponents are simplified. You do have a test going up on your MathXL tomorrow. It'll be due Monday, so just make sure that you are ready for that. And again, you can email me on the weekend anytime. I'll reply to anything you have. Just don't ask me for help while you're working on a test or a quiz. Answer that last question, and good luck.